Literally 95% of all traders lose money. Why do they lose money? This video is probably going to expose one of the biggest secrets that all the millionaire traders don't want you to know. This secret is also how I turned my portfolio from $0 to over $780,000 in less than 5 years. Now, I'm not saying that it was easy, but it's totally achievable. I'm just a regular guy. I'm retired now, but I did have a day job for the majority of this net worth gain. I also have some real estate on the side also. But it's super achievable for the regular person. Now you're probably wondering, your 2-year change, you made $500,000 in 2 years, and your day change today is $34,000. That seems like it's crazy, but it's really not. Also, if we look at my rate of return on my portfolio in 2023, 75% is what I did. This is how I performed right here. So I did 75%, the NASDAQ did 43, and the S&P did 26. So last year was a really good year in the markets, but I capitalized even more on that. So this one key thing is what took me from being average to being above average and now making 75% ROI every single year. So the problem with people that are new to investing is they don't know where to start. They just try to follow these penny stocks. They try to go all in, low float, low market cap stocks. They bet it all. They wake up the next day and the stock's down 50%. That is the problem. Most people that try to trade, they go in and then they get wiped out and then they never want to do it again. Which honestly, I don't blame them. I was there. I made those same mistakes too, but I learned from them. I've read hundreds of books. I've talked to hundreds of millionaires that are in my circle, and we talk about their stories and how they came to millionaire status. So my net worth right now is probably around $1.5 to $2 million. It depends on how you value my real estate. But 5 or 6 years ago, that was zero. So if you're sitting there at your 9-to-5 job wondering, what am I gonna do? What is the secret sauce? I'm gonna explain to you right now what you need to do. Now, if you appreciate these videos, I make videos every single day, so make sure you like and subscribe because I'm gonna bring you along on this journey with me. And then I have a Discord channel too. I'll put all that in the description below. Go on there, I have all my market alerts, all my trade alerts, everything is over there, check it out. So what do I do? How do I get to millionaire status from $0 in 6 years? What is the big secret that millionaires don't want you to know? What do I not want you to know? It comes down to one thing and one thing only. You're not putting into work. Now, what I mean by that is, I'm gonna ask you a question. Why is it that a lot of pro football players, a lot of pro athletes, a lot of people that win the lottery, why do they come into a sum of $10, $100 million, and then in a couple years down the road, they end up broke? Why do they end up broke when they had so much money? How do they screw it up? Now, I know most of you people watching this video are gonna say, there's no way I would be broke. I have $100 million, I'm set. But the problem is, if you don't have any money right now, if you can't manage your money when you have $1,000, it's not gonna get any easier when you try to manage your money when you have $100 million. So for example, we're gonna put my Charles Schwab account on a 3-month chart. So July 31st of 2024, I had $803,000 in this account. But look, it went down to $659,000. That's a drop of $140,000 in like a week and a half. What would the typical person do if they lost on paper $140,000 in 2 weeks? Would you panic? Would you freak out? Would you double down on your investments? What would you do? Are you confident in your investments? Are you going to sell your investments? There's going to be all this emotion going through your head at the time of the crash is, what am I going to do? So what I personally did is I'm ultra confident in my investments that I make. So what did I do? I bought the dip. I bought more shares. Now today, right now, I'm up 34K, but that's on a whole portfolio. But going back to the point of the video, why do most people stay broke? Why are traders usually losing money? Why am I making money? Why does 95% of you guys lose money? It all comes down to, you just don't know what you're doing. You don't have the emotional psychology. You don't have the ability to buy the dip. You don't have the ability to buy when there's blood in the streets. You need to be able to buy when everyone is fearful, and you need to be able to sell when everyone is being greedy. So on my chart, when it was down, everyone was fearful. Everyone was freaking out last week because of Japan carry trade, the consumer's weak, the economy's gonna crash, the election's gonna ruin everything. There was so much fear in the markets at that time that I could see right through it. I've seen this before. There's always a scenario in the markets where there's a super compelling story coming out of CNBC, Yahoo Finance, whatever it may be, saying markets are gonna crash, and their story is going to be legit. You're going to believe them, like it looks so believable. And you think that because these stories came out on Yahoo Finance that they're legit, But what you should do, and it's a funny thing when I actually do, is I go on the article and I see who the author is. Then I type in their name on Google and type in net worth after it. 99% of the time, their name does not even pop up on Google. Now, in the weird scenario where the author would be Warren Buffett or someone who is a reputable billionaire or multimillionaire, of course, I would listen to what they have to say. But even that, I would listen to what they have to say, but I would still make my own conclusion of, do I believe in this? Is this what I want to do or not? But when you're sitting there taking advice from someone who's probably living paycheck to paycheck, who has $500 to their name, who drives a Toyota Corolla at a 9% interest rate, what are you doing? Do your own research. Like, do you want to be at your 9-to-5 job until you're 70 years old, working like a slave? Or do you want to take this serious, invest how I did 5 or 6 years ago, and now I have $1.5 million? I could retire right now. I just choose to work. I choose to make these videos for you guys so that I can help you guys. Because I just feel bad for you guys straight up. I mean, you guys are going to your jobs, working 40, 50 hours a week, getting that overtime. You want your job security. That is security to be a slave until you're 70 years old. Why not learn how to invest your money, learn how to buy real estate at a discount, learn how to trade put options, learn how to trade call options, learn something that can make you more money. But instead, you would rather invest into your job. It's actually funny because I still work per diem at my one day job, just a couple days a month. I tell them I'm losing money when I go to work. And they're like, what do you mean? How are you losing money? And I'm like, you guys just don't get it. You are in the employee mindset. You need to get into the investor mindset. I mean, just the other day, I bought a piece of real estate for $450,000. Right now, the market value is $600,000. Now you're probably gonna ask, how did you do that? I read books. I studied, I go to open houses, I go in the markets, I find deals, I negotiate the deals, I get the financing for the deals. That one trade that I made in the whole year buying that piece of property, I made $150K. That's more than most people make at their day job in 2 years. So to get to my point, the number one secret that most millionaires know but you don't know, your money always has to be working for you. It doesn't matter if you're on vacation, you're sleeping, you're taking a dog for a walk down the street. Your money has to always be working for you. Trading in and out of stocks in a single day, doing day trading or swing trading, is not usually the way to make money. Now, I do a lot of trading, but I don't do trades where I buy in one day and close out the next day. I invest in companies and I usually hold them for the long run. Now, I do have a trading account that we started with $10,000 and we're absolutely printing cash right now. Check out the link below for Discord. I post all my trades in there, but I'm also trading in a special way that most people don't know about. I like to sell options. I don't always like to buy options. So on this dip that we just recently had, we sold put options and we bought call options on a couple ETFs and a couple stocks. And we're doing super good. But the point is, just because we have the ability to trade doesn't mean that we have to trade. When something comes across my desk and it looks super good, it's super compelling, and I feel confident about it, I throw money at it. But we're in a game of, we have all these potential companies that we could buy into, and they're getting thrown at us like we're getting pitches in a baseball game. But the difference is, they're throwing balls at us all day long, but they're not calling strikes. So we could have Microsoft thrown at you, Apple thrown at you, Nvidia thrown at you, AMD thrown at you, Google thrown at you. But you don't have to swing. And when you don't swing, you don't get any called strikes. But when you go and you have the company coming right down the center where everything looks great in your opinion, and I will say, it's never a perfect trade setup, but when it looks super good for what you like, you swing at it. And you don't swing at it with a little bit of money, you swing at it hard. And that's how you make the big money in life. Like if you have a net worth of $10,000 and you say, I'm gonna start a trading account with $100, realistically speaking, you're not going to be able to turn $100 into a ton of money unless you just invested in something and forget about it for 50 years. But I'm not okay with that. We have the $10,000 account. Our goal is to double that by the end of the year. But the difference is I've been studying this for 6 years, 7 days a week, at least 3 hours a day. I've read hundreds of books. I've went to many seminars. I've talked to many millionaires. I have a mentor that's probably worth $300 million. I mean, I have information in my head that is a lot different than what the typical person has in their head. So that's why I can spot signals and market opportunities to buy into something or to sell out of something. So that's what I do. So that's kind of my secret sauce. I make YouTube videos every day, if not every other day, pretty much explaining everything finance. And if you want to learn how I trade stock options, which is how I made that 75% ROI last year, that probably doubled my ROI. So I was probably at like a 40% ROI last year without stock options. But when you put the stock options in there, that's how I went from 40 to 75% ROI. So if you want a good video on that, I feel like I break it down for beginners, but if you're an expert, I think it'll also help you out a lot. I have a lot of examples in that video. I'm gonna put it in the description below also. So if you made it this far, like, subscribe. I drop videos almost every day. I'll see you guys later.